Okay, welcome everyone to the very first ENCE Esports Overwatch Understudy. I am Fevron, and I am going to be bringing you this quick little video as we take a look into our very first hero of the series. It is of course going to be Lucio. Now this video is just going to have a general look at the hero, basically different ways to customize him, his abilities, and then if you want a more in-depth look on how to play Lucio, team captain for ENCE Esports Trickwide has given a in-depth summary of that, so you can check it out in the link in the description. And of course at the end of the video there will be a little highlight reel showing Trickwide in action and how to best utilize Lucio. So without further ado, let's take a look at the first hero of the series. Now Lucio, as most people will know, is going to be a support hero. His main features are to boost and to speed. Now we are going to take a look into his abilities first before we actually take a look through all the customization. Now as you can see here with Overwatch, the different heroes will have a different set number of abilities. Some will have more abilities like Lucio does, some will have only a few abilities. We will basically address those as we come about them, but Lucio is one of the ones that has a couple of additional abilities compared to some of the others, so let's take a quick look at them. Of course, the left mouse button is going to be the shoot button, which will be the same for all of the different heroes. That will not change on any of them. This is one thing, one of two things that will be the same. As you can see here, if you go into the game, you actually get the chance to look at the videos, so you can play them right from the game itself. So as you can see, the left mouse button is just the standard shoot ability. Now the other thing that will remain the same for all of the heroes throughout the series that you'll notice is that the Q ability will always be their ultimate. So the two things that heroes will share the same will be their left click is shoot and the Q is the ultimate. The different abilities will change obviously because of the different hero. Now with Lucio being a support hero, his ultimate is called Sound Barrier. It's going to basically, as you can see here, create temporary shields for nearby allies. So if we take a quick look, whenever you trigger the ability, it will give a shield which will deplete over time. Now the one thing that you should know is if you have not actually played Overwatch before, you'll notice that when he uses it, the meter does drop down to 0. Now this meter can be regenerated either through your different abilities of healing, speeding, or attacking enemies, and then once it hits 100% again, you will be able to trigger it with that Q button. Now skipping over these next abilities real quick, as you can see here, the right mouse button is going to be another attack for Lucio, but it is called Soundwave, and it is a very short range blast. It's basically to knock any enemies away from Lucio, as you can see here. So a little right click will give them a little, as it's known in the community, a little bump away. Now this is important due to the fact of how squishy Lucio can be, and it's also very useful on maps that let you basically bump enemies over the edge to their death. So as I said, Trickwide has given it a little bit more in-depth in the article, so make sure you read that. Now the left shift ability is called a crossfade, and it will let you switch between two different abilities. Now these are ongoing abilities. They are always on. They do not change, just depending on which one you have turned on. Now what doesn't actually show in the video is that in game you will actually see a circle appear around you showing the radius of these abilities. I can't remember how far it is, maybe like 10 yards or something. Now as you can see, when you press the left shift button, it will switch between both of these abilities. Now the left one, as you can see with the little plus icon, will heal any of the team members inside the circle, and then when you press the left shift, it will switch over to the speed burst, which will actually help your team run quicker, which is very useful for getting to objectives quicker, or if a teammate dies, helping them get back to the fight quicker. So a very, very useful utility that Lucio actually has in his arsenal. Now the E ability It's called Amp It Up, and basically what it does, it increases the effectiveness of that particular song. So as you can see there, while you have the heal on crossfade used and you press E, it actually makes it heal even, regenerate health even quicker. Likewise for the speed, when you actually press the amp it up on the speed ability, it will boost the speed at which your teammates run. So very, very useful for getting to objectives quickly, and something that you will be utilizing almost on a regular basis. The last ability, probably the most difficult ability, not even ability or attribute that Lucio actually has. It's a passive. It's called Wall Ride. Now, Wall Ride allows him to basically ride along the walls, as you would guess. It is something that will take a lot of practice to actually get right. There are some maps that this can be utilized really well, other maps that maybe aren't so great for it. But as you can see, once you jump along and use the spacebar, you will be able to basically just ride along the wall. Very useful for sort of keeping out of enemy fire, getting across gaps, keeping yourself safe. Very, very important ability to learn. Of course, when not riding on walls, space is going to be just a regular little hop. But very, very important. As I said, Trickwide has give an in-depth look on how to utilize Lucio as best as you can, his strengths, his weaknesses. So make sure you read that. Now, in terms of customization, each hero in Overwatch will have a lot. We're not going to go through them all, but just so you get a general idea, you unlock in-game currency as you play games. This is the classic skin. You will get different variations on the colors. You will get, of course, then legendary skins which completely change how he looks. And with the game being released for so long now, there is plenty of skins to collect. Of course, some of them can only be collected during certain events. Of course, you can also customize different voice lines, emotes, victory poses for during when you get a winning screenshot, highlight intros as well whenever you get a play of the game. And of course, then you have the final customization, which is the golden weapon. However, you'll notice that the currency has changed. The golden weapon can only be purchased using the currency that you gain through competitive play. So if you don't play competitive, unfortunately, you'll not be able to attain this. You're going to have to play that in order to gain the currency, in order to unlock these golden guns. But that is it for the general look at Lucio in the Overwatch Understudy. As I said, if you want an in-depth look or read on how to play Lucio even better, make sure to check out ENCE Esports Overwatch Team Captain Trickwide's breakdown in the description below. And don't forget to follow us, ENCE Esports, on Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date with all the latest coverage, as well as these ongoing articles. Check us out, ence.gg. And as I said, to finish things out, enjoy a little highlight reel from the one and only Trickwide.
Into the iris.
Oh, let's break it! Damn!
Огонь по готовности!
Oh, let's break it! Damn!
This is much better than the time.
Pump up the volume!